There is people who is going into the church, taking advantage of the nice Christians. They started passing the bucket around so that we could give donations for the people that's gonna get evicted, right? Let me tell you something, man. When that bucket came towards me, I slapped that bucket and I got up and I walked out the church. Just like that, respectfully.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Big Blue. We're back with another video. Let's just go ahead and get right into it. So this one actually came up on my feed as I was just looking around and see, what could I react to next? And sure enough, this came up. I started watching this. So the title is, I walked out of church on Sunday mid-sermon, which is interesting. We don't see that happen often, nor we even hear people actually doing that. So this is going to be from Fritz Gabriel. Homie's Haitian. That was the thing that got me immediate. Like, yo, I need to do a reaction to this because coming from a Haitian church myself, I'm like, all right, let me see, what was his experience like. So I only got to probably a minute into the video. Then I stopped it just so that I can go ahead and get this recorded. I should have seen the whole thing just so I could give a better perspective, less too much jabbering, but let's just go ahead and get right into it. As always, go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Let's do it.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Gabriel Show. Now, guys, check it out. Grab your tea, grab your coffee. I know you guys about to judge me.
Got my water, right? Bro.
All the Christians about to unsubscribe, but let me explain myself.
That's kind of crazy. The Christian's gonna unsubscribe. What happened at the church, bro? What'd you do?
Okay, please sit down, calm down, right? See that? Relax. Now let me tell you guys something. I love me some Jesus, okay? But you're not about to play me. Not me.
With it.
All right. So I don't know if you guys noticed, I didn't post on Sunday. Okay, I didn't post on Sunday, and I was trying to post every single day.
It's tough. I just gotta say, posting every day as a creator, just posting in general as a creator, there's a lot that goes into it that a lot of people just don't understand. Like, this is not an easy 1, 2, 3 thing. It takes up time. It takes up sacrifice, man.
Now, the reason why I didn't post on Sunday is because I actually went to church. Okay, but here's the catch. I didn't go to my church, right? My boy invited me to his church. Okay, he was telling me how it's a nice church. It's modern. They have all
the nice bells and whistles, the lights,
people wear regular clothes, stuff like that.
Ain't gotta come in with the suits and the button-ups and the church shoes and dresses and all that stuff. You can come as you are. Haitians hate that, yo.
Now, guys, I'm part of that, that old school Haitian church. Like, hallelujah, Jesse. That's the church I go to. Okay, and if my mama was to know I went to another church, she wouldn't be happy.
Tight.
But
does she know now that you went to another church? It seems like she still doesn't know. She probably thought you went to work.
I said, you know what, bro? Since you invited me, let me go, because he's honestly trying to get his life together himself, and I'm happy that he's going to church now. But you're gonna go to church on Sunday, but you just left the club on Saturday. I digress. So I said, all right, whatever. Let me go with you to church and just let me see what's going on there, because it's modern, whatever. They're speaking English. Maybe I could really grasp what's going on. So got ready, got dressed up. We pulled up to the church. Now, the one thing I didn't like about the church was I seen a lot of familiar faces. Okay, the place did look really nice, modern. The bathroom was nice. They're speaking English. I would say it was a really good sermon. Okay, it was a really good sermon. And so I was sitting next to my boy and I was looking around, and I was just looking at my boy, to be real with you. And to be real with you, I don't even think he was paying attention to not one sermon, man. His eyes was like this. He was scanning. He was like, yo, bro, look at her. Look at that girl.
Oh man, that's tough. That's tough. You're there for the wrong reasons. But I mean, hopefully he could be guided in the right direction. But we're there for the wrong reasons.
I was like, bro, don't focus on the girls, bro. Focus on Jesus. And I'm like, whatever. Let me just sit down here and just pay attention to what's going on. And I'm not gonna hold you. I started looking too just to see like who's here. You know what I mean? Don't hate. I got my ring. All right. But I'm just looking to see who's here. Like, does anybody know me? And guys, I seen a familiar face. Okay, I seen a very familiar face. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, hold up. That sister used to go to my church. And I'm not gonna say her name on YouTube. I'm not gonna put nobody on blast.
Good.
But I'm like, oh hell no. I definitely gotta share the story with you guys for content, because this shit is funny, okay?
Hey.
And I'm looking at her and she looks at me and she just turns her head. And I'm telling my boy, yo, ain't that sister so-and-so? And he was like, oh yeah. I'm like, yo, she went to the club with me last night. I was like, what? And I was like, whatever, I'm not gonna say nothing. So I just kept it cool, calm, and collected. But I was wondering, why did she stop coming to my church? And it all started to hit me. God, she owes my church money. You hear me? She owes my church money.
I've never heard that term before. Clearly I've heard the term. What do you mean she owes the church money? What is he? All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
And you know what? Like, I didn't want to say nothing about it. I knew it, because sometimes people don't come to the church with sob stories. And as Christians, you know, we're going to support, right? We're going to support, we're going to help them out. I totally get it. That's what we got to do. But now you're in debt to Jesus. Okay, so I'm not going to say nothing. I stayed quiet. And then the sermon was getting really popping. It was getting really good, guys. And then when the time came, when it was time to give tithes, okay, like everybody got to introduce themselves, all the new people, you know, I introduced myself, and then it was time to give the tithes and everything like that. But then the Reverend was basically talking about, hey guys, you know, we have to support people in this tough times. We have a group of people here who's struggling, who's going through some tough times. They're about to get evicted. They're about to do this. They're about to do that. If you guys find it in your heart, we have a bucket going around here to help people, you know. And I'm looking at that sister. You know, I'm like, the pastor didn't want to say her name, but then I was wondering, like, what's the person's name who need help, pastor? What's their name? And I'm looking at that sister, and she's looking at me, and she's putting her head down like this. Guys, they started passing the bucket around so that we could give donations for the people that's gonna get evicted, right? Let me tell you something, man. When that bucket came towards me, I slapped that bucket, and I got up, and I walked out the church. Just like that, respectfully.
Damn, bro, like that. Wait. Okay. Clearly he peeped something. So it seems like old girl is a church hopper. She's collecting money. And it ain't nothing cheap either. Like, rent isn't cheap. Mortgage isn't cheap. If they're talking about eviction, they're going to be given at least, or the idea is to give at least $1,000. That $1,000 can easily get you to the club. That $1,000 can easily get you on the next trip, on the next flight. So, okay, now I see what you mean by owing the church. Okay, interesting.
Guys, the sermon was good. The church was good. Everything was good, first of all. All right. And I know you guys sound bugging out. The pastor was shocked. Everybody was like, hey, if I told you no outside of the church, you think I'm going to say yes because we're in front of Jesus? No is no. You hear me? No is
And there's a verse in this in Matthew. Jesus said it, let your no's be no's and your yeses be yes. Good job, brother. Brother Fweets.
no. All right. I'm sorry, guys. There is people who is going into the church, taking advantage of the nice Christians. Okay, I get it. We have to give. We have to give, guys. I'm a giver. But there are some people who's literally going to the club on Saturdays, going to Puerto Rico the week before. God, I follow her on Instagram.
Crazy.
Okay? She's not struggling. And if she is, I don't know.
We need to have some other conversations. We need some financial advice if that's the case, because this shouldn't be a thing, man.
I don't think she's getting evicted anytime soon. She's church hopping, taking advantage of people's situation. Okay? She's in debt to my church.
Wow.
Now, when you owe the church money, who's the debt collector? I told the pastor, can you appoint me that job? Because I have no problem. Okay? You're in debt to Jesus. We got to get that monies back.
That's a crazy.
And now you're going to go to another church and try to play everybody else here? Not me. I'm not falling for that, man. I'm not falling for that. Call me the bad guy. Call me mean. But I'm not falling for that. And guys, listen. I understand. You know, God said to give, we have to help people, but we need to start doing background checks. All right, we got to start doing background checks to find out, is this person literally legit? We got to ask to see the bill. We got to ask to see the receipts. Okay? And there has to be some type of treasurer that's keeping tabs, because there's people who's going around draining the church of all their money. And nobody's talking about this. Right? Nobody's talking about this. I understand it, guys. We have to help as Christians. And you guys are probably going to unsubscribe, but you know what? God put this in my heart to tell you, because he wants his money back. Okay, he wants his money back in full. All right, he's not doing no partial payments. If you guys owe the church some money, the church been holding you down, you feel me? Some people's not even paying their tithes. All right, they're not even paying their tithes.
These are facts.
But they hopping from church to church asking for help. Okay, and they ain't helping the church. They're not helping the church. Now, guys, this is just my thoughts. You know, I was just trying to be real with you guys. I immediately walked out. Okay, my job had called me. They asked me, can I help out? I went to help out for a few hours, to be honest with you, and I felt really bad about it. And I was praying on the way. I'm like, Jesus, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I can't. Rather go back to my church and because I'm not trying to create a scene. Right, I'm not gonna be like,
created a scene.
Pastor, she owes my church money.
You hit the
She's not
offering.
getting evicted. She was at the club last night.
Oh, that type
I'm
of
not gonna do her like that. All right.
I mean, yeah.
But what I am gonna do is put your information and business on the Gabriel show. That's what I'm gonna do. But guys, man, I told my boy, thank you for inviting me to the church, man. I'm not gonna hold you. Everybody was shocked, and I didn't slap the bucket really hard. Okay. I didn't slap the bucket really hard. Give me a second. Give me a second, guys. I'm sorry about that.
Is he serious?
Hello?
Oh, what if it's Pastor?
Hey, Pastor, how's it going?
Well, no, it's Jesse. I'm okay about it. Listen, buddy.
What?
I need a donation for the church.
You want what? Click.
Sorry about that, guys. But, I forgot what we were talking about.
Oh,
but anyways, man, let me focus on my work today. I truly love and appreciate you guys. Listen, man.
That's crazy.
Don't be naive, guys.
Don't be
naive. There's people who's taking advantage. Don't
like
just because they're in the church, that don't mean all of a sudden they're the most heavenly person ever. Okay, you guys still got to be on your P's and Q's. Okay, still give, right? Don't ask for nothing back. I don't lend money. I give money.
There you go.
And now we got to start doing background checks and we got to find out if you're going to be paying somebody's rent with the church money. All right, when are we going to get our money back? Matter of fact, don't even try to get the money back. Okay? Because now you're in debt to Jesus. Oh, Lord of mercy, man.
And that is not where I thought it was going to end up going, man. Not where I thought it was going to be going at all. But at the end of the day, that is an interesting fact. There's several points, whole sermons that could be talked about in this. But I'm not a pastor, nor do I have time for 7 sermons. So let's go ahead and dive into it real quick. One of the things that he definitely pointed out is when he said that it was a no outside, just because we in front of Jesus doesn't mean that it's going to be yes this time. It says specifically in Matthew 5:37, let your yes mean yes and your no mean no. Anything more than this comes from the evil one. the thing about that is when you flip flop on your answers, it causes confusion, it causes deceit. It may not be intentional, but we're supposed to be clear with one another. We're supposed to be straight up with one another. There should be no confusion. If we're supposed to be in one body, if I'm moving my right hand, my left hand has an understanding that my right hand is moving. There's no confusion between my right hand and my left hand. Even though I'm not using my left hand knows what my right hand is doing type thing. So in the same sense, if we're going to be in the body of Christ, we shouldn't be talking to each other in circles or in confusing matters to where our answers are consistent. Consistency is very important. The other thing that he pointed out, especially when it comes to the church, being in the church, it is imperative that we don't be fooled. Yes, we have to be giving. Yes, we have to be loving. Yes, we have to care for our neighbors and even care for our enemies. But do not be fooled. Okay? Do not allow yourself to be abused. God says to be generous. He does not say to allow yourself to be abused. So in Matthew, again, this is Jesus talking once again in Matthew 10:16. It says, "Behold, I am sending you out as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be wise as serpents and innocent as doves." So at the same time, while we're being gentle, while we're being kind to everybody, and while we're not having these heavy mindsets or being pessimistic, not all the time, and being negative all the time and just being angry and all this stuff, we're being innocent as doves. We still have to be mindful of everything that's going on. We still have to be vigilant on the things that's going on around us. We can't just allow things to just happen out of nowhere and be like, oh, well, God got it. Things will happen to you if you just sit idly and just let things happen. Now, the other interesting thing that's definitely a topic, an interesting topic. This is probably the one thing that I struggle with, and I know a lot of people struggle with. Because I had the same mindset as Fleets when it comes to giving money. If I'm going to give you money, I'm not going to ask for it back. That's the only time. But at the same time, I'm only going to allow you to have money. I'm only going to give money unless you absolutely need it or I absolutely do not need it. And I'm in a giving place financially to give to you. I ain't going to do nothing about this whole prosperity gospel or nothing like that. If it is within my heart to give to you, I will give to you and I will not ask for it back. That's just straight up forward, because if I start asking for stuff back and then I'm waiting on you, and then I see you out in the club, out on a trip, and you still owe me $20, $100 and stuff like that, I'm not going to have problems. But it's like, but that's just because of me. But I know plenty of people that have been caught in those situations where they're waiting on money because they need the money because they gave somebody else because they were doing it out the kindness of their heart, but the other person is being negligent or wasn't intending on giving the money back anyways because they were doing out whatever with the money. Again, being shrewd and understanding what's going on. At the same time, I'm not just going to sit here and give money to people who are financially irresponsible. If I'm giving money, just like him, kind of with the receipts, I had to know what's going on with you. I had to know your lifestyle. Like, I don't just give money to anybody freely unless, again, I can. But at the same time, like, if I know you, I need to know where you've been, what you've been doing. Why is it you're in this situation in the first place where you're asking me for money? And then I'll give you the money. But the thing that comes to mind, which again, Jesus says, it's one of those things that I'm still in conflictions with. Not that, I'm in conflictions with Jesus. I am in conflictions of just doing willingly. So it says in Matthew 5:42, give to the one who asks you, and do not turn away from the one who wants to borrow from you. That can be, reading that again for like the fifth time. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section. What does that mean to you? What is Jesus entailing? Because he says two different things. Give to the one who asks you. Do not turn away from the one who wants to borrow from you. Are those two different things? Or are we talking about the same thing? So in a sense, if that's the case, that when we're as a church giving our tithes, giving our offerings to somebody that's been asking for it, they don't know the girl. But does that mean that we still just give? And like he said, where's the debt collector of the church? I mean, at the end of the day, if it's the church and we're giving, we're giving. And I think the issue that Fritz has isn't necessarily the church. I mean, kind of in a sense, again, the whole, just not checking people and seeing what their situations are, which they could have done if they were going to be, one gere, where we're living amongst each other, we need to know exactly what's going on with one another so that we could properly help, properly assist. If they really knew what was going on with the sister, they would see that maybe she just has a financial issue and maybe she's just trying to scam the church. I don't know. But at the same time, that requires getting to know the person. And it's tough to just come to a church and deny somebody because you don't know. So it's a weird situation nonetheless. And it's something that Jesus says to do. And I guess we could find excuses as to, did he really mean this, that, and the third, and stuff like that. But we'll just continue to live. Y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about these verses. I'm going to hit y'all in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.